Good day wherever you are, and welcome back to Below the Curve Gaming. It's Martin here, and today we've got something a little bit different. We have the new fancy dice tray for my Tallmick army for Hail Caesar, and we also have a unit of Centaurs from RGDGaming, and these are produced by Wargames Atlantic. So, let's take a look at both these items. I'll give you my thoughts, tell you how much I paid for them, and then you guys can make up your own decisions if these are something that you're interested in or not yourselves. So here we have the dice tray. This is from Lizard Den Store on eBay. It was £10 with free postage, and it comes in a sort of thick mouse mat sort of material. You can see here. It's flexible, it's soft, but it's also hard wearing. When you buy the item, you send the chap an eBay message and he'll send you his email. You then attach a JPEG or a PNG of the image of your choice. So I went for, as we can see here, a sort of silhouette of Cleopatra. I asked for this Avalon sunset background. Ben, for his, went for the sort of traditional Roman legion symbol, the eagle with the laurel wreath. And then he prints it. A few days later you have a beautiful dice tray. So if we take a look at mine for a minute, you can see that it's buttoned up in the corners. That creates this sort of bowl. If you look at Ben's, you can see how the buttons sit. So button, you don't need to point out all four sets, I'm sure. The bonus of this is that when you unbutton it, it sits neatly on top of your carry case. You can roll it up and stick it in your rucksack. It's easy to store. Can slide it into a chest of drawers or wherever you keep your gaming supplies. I really like items like this because there's nothing worse than you scoop up 24 dice, you sling them across the table, decimating your opponent's units in a way that your archers haven't managed all game, flying off the table, getting lodged in terrain. You pick the dice up, there's only 22 of them. Did you knock that 6? Is that 2 actually meant to be a 5? When you grab them, oh god, there's 26, not 24, and then you have to roll them all again. It's a pain in the backside. Having a little dice tray that you can just roll into, so much handier. And there's nothing worse at the end of the game when you get your wee dice box and it's got those nice dice you got from your mate for your birthday, or you picked up at convention and you're missing one and you realise it's because it's gone shooting off and landing under someone's couch, or it's down the back of a unit, or heaven forbid you just don't know where it is, but it's no there. Having a dice tray eliminates those problems. So I have to say, guys, you could do an awful lot worse than spend a tenner on this. Regardless of the game, whether it's ancient Egyptians for Hail Caesar, whether it's Napoleonics for black powder, he says optimistically, whether it's 101st Airborne for bolt action, you'll be able to go on Google, find an image or an icon or something that you feel represents your army, send it to this guy and you'll have a completely unique, one-of-a-kind dice tray that no one else will do, no one else will have. You'll be the envy of your mates, and it's just nice. It adds that little bit of character to your army in the way that, heaven forbid, the extortionately priced Games Workshop dice do when you get the Ultramarines or the Harlequins or the Tyrannid special dice for your army. You know, try and match your Ultramarine dice to your Ultramarine army. You know, Tyrannids look a bit weird chucking Ultramarine dice around, but hey. But I just think these sort of things are really nice. I really buy into stuff like this, and you could do an awful lot worse than go to Lizard Den Store and order yourself one. So here we have the Centaurs by RGDGaming and produced by Wargames Atlantic. So these were a Kickstarter, I believe. The box says it comes with 12 multi-piece models. That is a scandalous lie. It actually comes with 18. You get 12 Centaurs and you also get 6 Fawns or Satyrs. These are really, really nice models. They've got loads and loads of bits. I did contemplate showing the Satyrs off first, giving us something to fawn over, but really, the horsemen, as it were, are the centaur piece of this video. I apologise, I'll stop. And so we'll look at them first, I think, because actually there's some really interesting stuff to say about them. So I'm afraid these are coming off to the side. We will pull this to front and centre, and using Ben's fancy phone stand, we're going to try and pull this forward, attempt some digital wizardry with the zoom. Okay, so we can just about see it. So, 6 sprues. Each comes with enough to make 2 Centaurs. You can see here, these ones have the bases, and then there's the Centaurs for the other side there. So, the base ones are the left side of the Centaurs, so you can mix them up a bit. They come with 6 torsos per frame of 2 models. You have 2 female models here at the end and 4 male models. This female model has a sort of chest wrap, Jill Valentine style boob tube. This one, however, is enjoying the sun. She has no top, so you can have a topless lass if you wish. You get 2 female heads, I believe, and then you get male heads as well. You have a large variety of weapons. So let's see, things of note. A Dacian style flax or Thracian style rompa, I believe. So you got 2 of those. You've got hand axe. You've got a sort of curved sword. Another hand axe. Another hand axe. You get the spear arm, which is up here. This comes with a variety of heads. You have a scythe. You have a sort of guzamane or guzame style glaive weapon. Every GM's worst nightmare in D&D 3.5. You have a long spear just here. You have a sort of halberd polearm. Then you have a trident, and then you have another sort of great axe. You get tail and tail for your centaurs. And you get a variety of left arms as well as, I believe, bows. Although the bows which are shown in the box are actually in the Fawns. There is also this sort of wicker, I think it's armour that goes around one of your centaurs. It's really, really nice. The level of detail, the sculpting is fantastic. Really, really high quality. The faces have good expression. They're not classic sort of pin-up faces. These are bestial sort of nose coming out the forehead, horns, very natural hair, unkempt beards. They look a bit like the fawn or godling in the Witcher TV show on Netflix. Now, I have to say that's one of the best shows I've seen in a while. Get past the timeline and continuity issues, which aren't issues, they're just a pain in the backside if you've not read the books. Thankfully I had. But hey, go me. The detailing in the weapons is really nice. They come to blades. You can maybe see that better in the scythe. And the axe just here. They're just really, really nice kits. Now, anybody who plays Hail Caesar will be very quick to say, Martin, I think you'll find it's a historical game and not a fantasy war game. You are indeed correct. However, I play many games at some point or another, and I also play a lot of computer games. I recently got Troy Total War. Troy Total War has centaurs, harpies, minotaurs, and giants in it. And it makes and sirens. It makes a big fuss of the fact you found these mythical creatures. And then, when you get into the battlefield, what you realise is that they're actually... Centaurs are the only cavalry unit in the game. So bear in mind that Troy is somewhere between 1600 and 800 BC. The Greeks don't use cavalry at this point. They've barely encountered it. Cavalry is used more in the Middle East. But bear in mind Troy is in, or thought to be in, Turkey. Near where Pergamon would have been, for those of you into historical wargaming. So, the idea of men on horses to the Greeks was totally alien, or largely alien, certainly fielded at cavalry force levels. I really like the idea that they actually believed that cavalry were centaurs. So what I intend to do is build up 4 or 5 centaurs, deploy them on the table on turn 1, and once they have moved, take the centaurs out of the magnetized tray and replace them with my light cavalry models, and just give that sort of idea of that little bit of mythology that accompanies Greece. So that's my thoughts. Yes, it might have cost £25 for a unit that will never actually do anything because it will be removed, but I will get other uses for them as well. I play D&D, I play Pathfinder, I play Frostgrave, I play Ghost Archipelago. They can find their ways into that. Now, let's take a look at the Fawns. So, the Fawns, there are 2 sprues. You have a female sprue here, and obviously the male sprue. So we'll take a look at the lasses first. So there was enough in here to make 3 Fawns in each sprue. You get legs, you get the torsos. As you can see, the Fawns a bit more modest, so they're all sort of clothed. You get 2 shields, you get those very old-fashioned bows, you get some stunning javelins, including sort of backpack of javelins. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 helmets. You get 3 shoulder pads. You get, yet again, this flax. You get a bone if you really just want to club somebody. We'll not have any comments about boning them. Oh, too late. Axes. But yet again, you get a nice little selection of items. The sculpting is first rate. You can see they've got these sort of cloths over the hip or thigh. The fur is sculpted on. They've got nice musculature on the torsos. The shields are really nice. The detail on that wicker shield is fantastic. They've got these sort of strappy vambracers, which are just really, really nicely sculpted. And the faces have a lot of character. You've got this one here, which has got like really big hair, really impressive horns. If whatever game you were using them as, they could be really nice as a sort of unit champion. I'm thinking I'm going to use these as a small unit of javelins in my Hail Caesar army. And the same as the centaurs, I will then replace them when they get close to the enemy with regular javelineers. So the males, you can see they've got 2 sort of heart-shaped shields rather than the peltast shield and the rectangular one. They've got more javelins. They have the arrow, which we also see on the cover of the box. They've got some really nice heads. Yet again, a lot of character, 6 heads. Both sprues, you can see up in the top corner, they've got a hornblower arm as well. So as the Greeks didn't use standards, you've got your musician option, you've got your sort of champion's head, and you could give him like the phalanx or the rompa, whatever you want to call it. They come with those really nice axes. They are just a fantastic set. I have to say, I have been absolutely delighted with this set. I think that the companies absolutely outdid themselves, and to be quite honest, the only thing I'm really disappointed by in all this is that I didn't back the Kickstarter myself. The worst bit was I saw it, I contemplated it, and I didn't do it, but more fool me. So all in all, I have to say, these kits are absolutely fantastic. I completely appreciate they may not be everyone's cup of tea, but if you're into fantasy wargaming, particularly if you're doing sort of Beasts of Chaos, or you fancy more classic Wood Elf type armies, Kings of War I don't play, but I dare say you could include them somewhere in that. Mortal Gods, the Mythic expansion, most certainly. They would be really, really good additions for all of that. They have just enough the Grecian feel that they don't look out of place, I would feel, in the Greek army, but not so like Corinthian helmet and Hoplon shield that you couldn't field them anywhere else. So if you fancy these, I would really recommend picking up some. I really cannot wait to build them, and that's actually my only other regret, is that I don't have some built models to show you. But unfortunately, I've been working a lot recently and I'm really not feeling particularly well. You can maybe tell from my voice. So I decided not to risk hacking off a finger whilst trying to separate Centaur from Sprue. So all the best, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment below, leave a like if you haven't already, and if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to our channel. Particularly if a channel as small as ours, it does really help, and it helps when people then search on YouTube. It brings our stuff nearer the top, which is a big bonus for us. Take care, all the best, and I hope to see you in a video very soon.